What is up, squad? Welcome to Muscle Mastery. And today I want to talk about training with purpose. That is our focus for the entire month of July. And if you're anything like, the rest of the people inside of the squad, you probably already spent a couple years doing different fitness programs, group fitness stuff, things like Orange Theory, F45. Maybe you've done Beachbody, Insanity. Maybe you've trained with people like Jillian Michaels, Tybo, Shanti. And, don't get me wrong, I did some of those workouts too. I know me and my mom, when I was a kid, mind you, when I was a kid, me and my mom used to do P90X and Insanity. And that was a lot of fun doing it inside of, the living room with your mom as a kid. And maybe you're working out, 4 or 5 days a week. You're sweating. You look at your watch every time, and it says that you burn 500 calories. And while all of that is really cool, you're not actually getting stronger. So if that's you, you've been doing the group fitness classes, you've been doing the high intensity training, you've been working out with Beachbody forever, and you're burning all of the calories, but you're not getting stronger. If that's you, then this video is for you. So the biggest challenge that I see when someone is trying to switch from the high intensity training into strength training, it's not that they need to learn how to lift, because usually when you're doing the HIIT style of training, you're usually doing the normal lifts, squats, deadlift, bench press, all of that stuff. And those really don't seem to be an issue. There might be some tweaks that we make, but the biggest thing that I see, the biggest challenge that people face is redefining what counts as a successful workout. Because and we've all seen the ads, the propaganda, I like to call it, that's been put out there, that if you're not sweating, if you're not breathing heavy, if you're not crawling out of the gym after your workout, then you didn't train hard enough. And when you're strength training, that's just not the case. That's just not the reality. So when people finish that strength training workout, that first program workout, they're sitting there going, that's it. I could have done way more. I'm not even gasping for air. Nobody called for burpees. And their heart isn't beating out of their chest from start to finish. And because it feels different, it turns them away from strength training. And that is one of the things that stops, a majority of people when it comes to transitioning into strength training, because it has a different purpose. Strength training has a different purpose. The goal isn't just to survive your workout. Sometimes, but that's not the main focus. The goal is to improve your performance over time, so continuously getting better. So the next time that you're training, you're not sitting there questioning, how many calories am I burning? Am I sweating enough? Am I training hard enough? The thing that you're asking is, am I getting stronger today? How am I getting stronger today? And that little switch is where training with purpose comes into play. Every workout has an intention, no matter what that intention is, squad. Maybe your goal one day is improving your squat. Maybe you're trying to add another rep to your bench press. Maybe you're looking to improve your form on your bent over rows. Maybe you're a little bit newer to strength training. Maybe you're newer to the squat, and your goal is just to complete the workout that was programmed for you. But it's those small improvements that you make every single time that you go into your gym, your workout. Maybe you're scooch over here, maybe you're working out at home. Your intention to get better will create small improvements every time you train. And it's those small improvements that you keep stacking on top of each other over the weeks and months that are going to lead you to the goals that you have for yourself. So one of those tools, one of those steps, one of those improvements that we have here inside of the squad is using RPE, or rate of perceived exertion. And I just want you to think that as a way to measure the effort that you're putting in, rather than just focusing on how exhausted you're getting throughout the workout. Because every workout shouldn't feel like a 10 out of 10 or feel like you're about to pass out. Some days you're going to be working at a 6 out of 10 because you're at the beginning of a program, or you're going through a deload, or you're recovering from an injury. Sometimes you're going to be at a 7 out of 10. You're going to be an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, where now you're starting to really push that weight. You've got 1 or 2 reps left in the tank. And why do we want to train that way? Because when you're trying to build strength, it's not going to happen if you're trying to crush yourself every single time. If you're actually trying to build sustainable strength, not just have it and lose it, but have it and keep it, it's going to be it's going to be built by training consistently, number 1. Number 2 is going to be recovering well. This is really where the strength is built, and then making measurable progress over time, like I talked about earlier, getting more repetitions, lifting that heavier weight, getting an extra set of your lift, challenging your body. And all of this is why this month's focus is training with purpose. So instead of chasing a calorie burn, I want you to start chasing progress. Instead of working until you're tired, ask yourself if you're improving. This is how you're going to build confidence in the gym. This is how you're going to overcome plateaus. And this is where strength training can really become the foundation of your health and fitness journey. So, just to give you a little bit of homework, because we're inside the squad, we're here to get better. I want everyone to choose 2 or 3 lifts that you are going to focus on this entire month to improve. Maybe it's going to be your squat, it's going to be your bench press, it could be your deadlift. For me, I wrote these down. I'm tracking barbell reverse lunges, I'm tracking incline dumbbell press, and I'm tracking my dumbbell goblet squat. So as you watch the group chat inside of the squad, I want you to pay attention because I'm going to be posting my lifts. Barbell reverse lunges, I will improve. Incline dumbbell bench press, I've already improved today, and my dumbbell goblet squat. Those 3 lifts are what I'm doing. But whatever you choose, I need you to commit to your progress. Not for me, not just because I'm yelling at you over the internet to convince you to do it, but because you actually want to get better. You want to get older and not just have a good looking body, but healthy muscles. You want strong bones. I really don't care about how heavy someone can lift, how strong you're getting. What I care about is when you step outside of that gym and the 23 hours of the rest of your day, you can live them to the best of your ability because of the work that you're doing inside of the gym. So let's stop training just to feel exhausted and let's start training with purpose because it's not hard, y'all. Woo! Oh my goodness, I almost fell over. It's Simply Fitness.